Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Horror Debate. I am Michael Mandy and with me, Rowdy Jeff.
That's right, and this week, oh boy, Dead Freaking Clowns.
You know, if they called it Dead Freaking Clowns, that might be better.
Oh, from 2003, directed by Steve Sessions.
Written by Steve Sessions.
And probably copied and duplicated by Steve Sessions,
and edited by Steve Sessions, catered by Steve Sessions. I'm sure he did the casting, too.
Oh, Mike, I have a headache.
Okay, now, look, I'm all for scary clown movies. Why
Me
not?
too.
You know, I mean...
Clowns are scary anyway.
They're pretty darn scary.
You remember It?
Yeah. And also, there was another scary clown movie, I think it was called Evil Clowns, I saw about 4 or 5 years ago, that was well made. I mean, come on, clowns can be pretty creepy.
Absolutely.
Oh, I even went and saw Alice Cooper, and one of his tours was this twisted carnival thing, and he had clowns coming out with giant fangs and crap like that.
Psycho Circus, baby.
Oh, yeah, and Kiss did the clown thing, too, with Psycho Circus. So, you know, clowns are creepy. Wow.
But not so much here.
Wow.
Not so much here.
This movie was an endurance test.
A 90-minute endurance test.
Wow.
I can't say enough bad about this movie, Mike.
Oh, well first, maybe we should conduct this review in the style of the dialogue of this movie. So now, we're going to watch Dead Clowns, and we're going to talk about Dead Clowns. And, what did you say? I don't know. I can't understand what you're saying, but that's okay. And so now, all of a sudden, we're going to have some stock footage that I bought on a website, very cheap, of a rainstorm.
How many times can we see the stock footage
of a palm tree blowing in the wind?
We know there's a storm. It's been established within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
And yet the dialogue didn't start until 15 minutes into the movie.
There are like spaces in this film with no dialogue, lasting
20
between
minutes.
10, 15, 20 minutes.
Of no dialogue.
It's unbelievable.
Just a person walking around a house and pounding a piece of wood up against, because he's preparing for this storm.
Oh.
And in case you didn't figure that one out, they have a radio guy telling you there's a storm coming. And then a bunch of people looking out the window at this stock footage of the palm tree blowing in the rain.
Mike, I've seen better stuff, horror-wise, on cable TV at 8 o'clock p.m.
On Cinemax at midnight.
I mean, I don't even know what to say.
I mean, geez.
I was insulted that we watched this movie.
Oh, man. Like I was even telling you, when a main character walks in and he sees a dead body laying in a bathtub, it looks like he's staring, he's deep in concentration thinking about what he should have for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Instead of, he walks in and he sees this
monster there's no emotion.
This monster thing is eating body parts and he's just staring at the floor, just,
Now, Debbie Rochon.
Uh-huh.
She's one of our friends on MySpace. Probably not anymore.
Yeah, she won't be after this.
It won't be after this one, probably. But
and Jeff Dylan Graham, too.
Now, you know this guy, right? You have, like, a connection to this guy.
Yeah, not after this.
Not after that. Yeah,
man.
I think we're gonna have to.
This
you're gonna be hard pressed to find a film worse than this.
Oh man, look, Steve Sessions, do everybody in the world a favor, buy a tripod.
Oh my God!
Yes. If someone is talking or even just looking out the window at your stock footage of the camera's bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Jeff Dylan Graham is walking down a hallway and the camera bounces in time to him because the camera guy's feet are matching his feet. They're walking together. So up, down, up, down, up, down. With each step he's taking, it's like,
doesn't the name like Jeff Dylan Graham, doesn't he sound like he ought to be the lead singer of some like 70s band or something?
The Bay City Rollers.
Yeah, just thinking, Mike, we never talked about the plot, and I know this movie blew so hard and sucked so hard at the same time.
The plot of this film, which basically they stole from The Fog, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Instead
really.
of, 100 years ago, a boat crashed, and they want their gold back, so they come to the church to get the gold back.
Right.
But in this movie, the train crashes, and we know about it because we're told it.
Right.
All the dialogue in the first 20 minutes was this lady obviously reading the script through the window she's looking out at and she just said, 20 years ago, a train crashed and everybody drowned on it. And my father was the driver of the tugboat. that made the bridge collapse. And nah, we don't talk about that anymore.
I think we just lost like 400
Oh
listeners.
my God, that was just enduring just watching this film.
Mike, you brought up an interesting point. You brought up an interesting point when we were watching the film, and I thought it deserved to be said here in the debate, which is not really a debate. It's mostly just a hammering of the film. But
this is a slam fest,
yeah,
folks.
you brought up an interesting point. I've been thinking about it ever since you said it.
I said a lot of things during this film.
No, we were talking about first-time directors because we didn't really know the history behind this guy and what he had done at that particular time.
We just saw Dead Clown starring Jeff Dylan Graham and went, oh, cool, I got to watch this.
So I mean, we were talking about like John Carpenter's first film, which, Assault on Precinct 13.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about Steven Spielberg's first film.
Duel.
We were talking about, all these different first-time directors who got it fairly right, on their first shot. And you brought up the idea that maybe it was because that there had to be more involved, more financial risk involved.
Yeah, they had to buy film. It wasn't just videotape you could just erase over again, or computer editing. No, you had to rent one of those things called a moviola or movoila, or I don't even know how you pronounce it because I've just read about it. But the big giant thing that they edit movie film on, 35 millimeter film. Here, you just point and click, and you can edit your film together. Mm-hmm. Just go to a different website, and hey, I'd like to get that stock footage of that, rainstorm blowing that palm tree. And, this film had a lot of repeated shots over to pad the time.
Well, which brings up an interesting point, and I think I was the one that brought this up. Is it getting too easy
for people to make
movies, and maybe they're not putting out their best effort because of it?
I guess so.
That's what we're kind of finding here is that some of these films, I mean, this is just so bad. Yeah. And it's too bad and so sad because it's just,
And we give
the cover looks good.
The cover's pretty cool.
The cover looks great.
And we give a little bit of breaks to first or second time filmmakers too, saying okay, kind of like that one we did with the Cessna
on Bloody Sunday.
On Bloody Sunday,
yeah,
we said, okay, dude, that was your college project. Now I want to see what you're going to do next.
Right.
Steve Sessions has done a couple other films, and I don't know.
Well,
we even slammed on Bloody Sunday.
Right.
We said there were a lot of
but
bad
we
parts.
Appreciated his effort because you could see there was some things happening there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of passion in there, and a few things worked. Not the whole film overall, but like this thing worked and that little section worked.
Nothing worked here.
Nothing worked in here. This movie shouldn't have been called Dead Clowns. Should have been called Attack of the Giant Floppy Shoes.
Yeah, we saw more of the shoes
walking slowly
in the movie than we did the actual clowns. And then
the clowns didn't even look like clowns.
The zombie clown
looked like a giant ash head.
Had red blood.
Yeah, this one guy shoots one of the clowns and red blood splatters all over it, and I'm going, wait a second. His head was black ash.
What is going on here?
Yeah. Oh, and one of the clowns picks up a meat thermometer, one of those round things with the spike coming out of it, and the girl tries to walk past him and she falls. And so the clown takes this and it's about 10 minutes. It's not even a struggle. It's just she's holding her arms straight.
Yeah.
He's looking down. Yeah. She's looking up. He's looking down.
Eventually it goes in her eye, right?
And
we don't even get to see the temperature.
Yeah.
We don't even get to see what her eye was reading on a thing, I mean,
and then the thing poked into her eye and she died instantly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You don't die from an eye poke.
Yes. I'm sorry. You poke someone in the eye and they go, ow! They don't just dead.
Well, it's unfortunate, like I said, because you brought up another point. You said, these people have to shop these things to Netflix. They got to shop them to Blockbuster. Somebody has to spend money to make the cool cover.
Yeah,
all this stuff. And you would think that these companies would actually look at the product they're buying.
You would think.
But obviously not, because I can't see how anybody would think there was any redeeming value here at all.
I recall seeing a movie that I saw at Blockbuster because the cover was cool, and it was called Trailer Park Massacre.
Uh-huh.
And after I watched it, it was pretty stupid, but it had a few points to it. But I did some research on it, and what they did was they went on Craigslist, and they said, we're non-union, but we got a distribution deal with Blockbuster, so anyone who wants to work for maybe $100 or something, just to see yourself on a movie in Blockbuster, come on down. I think they were like in Atlanta or something like that. Forgive me if I'm wrong, it was a couple years ago, but at least I could appreciate there was a few things in there that were redeeming.
Right.
This was slow. There was no sense of urgency. I'm sorry.
No.
When killer anythings are in your house, usually you want to get scared.
Jeff, whatever his name is, how long was he in the stairwell?
Oh, man.
I mean, it was like he was living in there.
It's like there was 10 minutes of him just walking in the backstage area of this movie theater, and he finds the flashlight. And then they go cut to something else for 10 minutes. And then 10 more minutes of him just looking at the seats in this empty movie theater.
Yeah.
And then cut to some other boring thing for 10 minutes. And then back to him. He's in the bathroom, and he rolls up a dollar bill and he snorts some sugar.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious it was sugar, because the crystals.
All I can say, Mike, is thank God we didn't actually buy this.
Oh, yeah. I'd have been
that would have been, I would have taken it back.
Thank God for Netflix.
Oh, absolutely. This is a bomb. This is a defining bomb movie.
And of course, people are going to say, well, what do you expect from a title called Dead Clowns? Hey, we just saw a movie called Zombie Strippers.
Right.
And we had a blast.
And it was fun.
It was fun. That's the thing.
And that actually had more urgency than this movie.
Yes. This movie, there was no sense of urgency.
No mood. Nothing.
You see a thing eating a human body, and this guy's just looking at it like,
And I'm sorry, folks, but let me just say this once and for all. I'm getting a little tired of the pulling of the intestines.
From the stomach.
And eating the intestine. Can we move on to something else that might actually work and shock nowadays?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
and this movie didn't make any sense because, the lady says, oh, my dad was the tugboat that hit the bridge that made them all die in the water. Well, then why didn't they go... Yeah, they went after her, but they also went after that guy, and they went after that guy, and they went after that guy.
Yeah.
And why were they picking out all these people? And does this happen every year that there's a hurricane here? Or was this an anniversary?
Exactly. You have no idea.
It's just...
You have no idea. And
if the answer was in there, I'm sorry, we must have missed it because we were probably talking, going, what the heck is this?
Yeah. This movie just there's no reason for it. There's no redeeming value here at all.
Even Mystery Science Theater 3000 probably would pass this film.
Absolutely the bomb.
All right, I'm Michael Manny. He's Rowdy Jeff. Hopefully we won't be destroying another film next week at the Horror Debate.
But probably will.
I hope we will.